Welcome to Global Technology 5173. Where are we now? What time is it now? Fall 2013. And believe it or not, we are coming to the end of our semester. It has been a wonderful semester, I hope. And today is no less, even maybe the best day in the class. Now, this is your day. How about that? This is your day. When I point at you, say big shine. This is your day. Shine. Excellent.
So we are here going to discuss about Microsoft Silverlight technology. This is one of the technology which is the exact competition for Adobe Flash. As we use browsing every day, we will use watching videos in YouTube, and we use live videos in cricket, everything, football or everything. So we usually download Adobe Flash in our web browser as an add-on, and we will view it. But Adobe Flash has a lot of backdrops, and so Microsoft Silverlight is a technology which we can use with high-speed browsing, and we can connect the websites and the servers with an easy time. So here I am going to discuss how the Microsoft Silverlight works, and how it's going to be when it came, and and its history. So these are the things which I am going to discuss today. And now if you go for this technology, Microsoft Silverlight technology is a cross browser platform implementation of .NET framework, as Microsoft inbuilt framework is .NET. So Microsoft uses this .NET framework for developing this technology, and it is rich in interaction and in the websites. If you say Netflix, if you use Netflix and all other websites which you use to watch movies, those websites actually use this Silverlight technology, and very few people know this technology because it has not been came into market since 2007. So it is not much used, but in 2008 Olympics, 2008 Olympics, they have used this technology, and even in a lot of other games, in streaming videos, they are using this technology for transmitting the data. Whenever we in our class we used to view the YouTube videos, we face a lot of issues while viewing that, because it will take a lot of buffer time and all. So if you install this plugin, we can easily solve that issue, and we can view the videos within seconds. So actually it was introduced in 2007, and then it has released 5 versions. It has also released a free version which a user can develop his own plugin. So that was known as Moonlight, which is by developer Novel, but as it came, it is not in existence now. But if you take this technology as an add-in, it will help you a lot. And if you take the add-ons along with this, if you want to remove ads from YouTube, you can download ad blocker, which supports a lot to block ads and all. So this is one of the technology which helps as a plugin to install, and how the framework will be, how it's going to implemented, and what are the drawbacks, advantages and all. My other team members are going to discuss about that. So thank you.
This all describes about the architecture and the components of Silverlight. Silverlight versions has been demonstrated by Sachin.
Till now we have seen the introduction of Silverlights, architecture and working of Silverlights, and we are now going to describe about the Silverlight versions. We have 5 Silverlight versions. Silverlight 1.0. In Silverlight 1.0, it supports XAML rendering and the JavaScript API, and it can be installed on Internet Explorer. In the 1.0 version, Interactive is provided, and the Silverlight 2.0. In this XAML.NET framework and a common language runtime is provided. The Interactive was improved when compared with the Silverlight 1.0 version, and 2.0 version will support some .NET languages and development tools. And third one is Silverlight 3.0 version. Before two versions cannot run on the Google Chrome, but the third version can run on Google Chrome, and they provided the navigation framework. And the next version is Silverlight 4.0. In this, they improved the WCF, Rich Internet Application Services. And the fifth one is Silverlight 5.0. In this version, the CPU can accelerate video decoding, 3D graphics, playback, speed controls, remote control, and 64-bit support. And the advantages will be discussed. Bye.
The advantages of this are it uses Windows presentation folder, which is similar to desktop applications, and it has a cross-browser and cross-platform plugin, and it has rich media experience, and the TCP program for multiplayer networking support.
Hi friends, today I want to talk about the drawbacks of flash in silver technology. As we know that there are some advantages of using this flash Silverlight technology, but apart from this we are also having drawbacks of this using, and I want to explain that in clearly. One is that information, unfortunately using this Silverlight technology is a poor choice for designing the web page. Because there are many problems while designing a web page by using this technology, and I want to explain that problems which results are that first one is information embedded in the flash is often invisible to the search engine. Like when we are using the Silverlight technology, we'll mainly focus when we want to search for any website, we'll mainly search by using the search engine and mainly by using the domain name. But unfortunately while searching is that it is invisible for the client to see the where the request is going and where it is coming. So this is the one problem, and it is one of the drawback in the flash. And another drawback is that website reporting on the flash navigation is problematic. That means that like when we are designing a web page, it results in two types of the reports. One is the web server and another is a JavaScript. This web server helps in creating objects whenever it requires, and another one is a JavaScript. The JavaScript mainly used to write the codes. Like any web page, when we are creating it, requires a code for one particular page, and that code will have the headers and foots, and it's very important for any web page to combine the entire whole program into the one page, and they have to place that in a one single file. And while keeping that, it is a big problem for to keep in a one particular file, and that is a main drawback in the Silverlight technology. But it overcome by using the latest technologies given by ask.com. And coming on to the next drawback, it is that flash breaks the web usability standards. That means that there is some standards we should follow when we designing the web page, but this flash media breaks this usage of web standards. Mainly basically when we are designing a web page, we require a number of like buttons, or apart from that we required some particular code should be in the particular file and all those things, but it is difficult to manage all those things in a one particular time. That is a main drawback. And another drawback is that it is very difficult to bookmark the page whenever we require, like in the middle of the while designing a web page, in the middle if you want to bookmark, it is very difficult because this technology initially not focused on that problem. And next, coming on to the lack of consistency, cross platform supportancy. Basically, whenever we are developing any web page or like any programmatic languages, it is mainly focused on the platform independency. Like for example, I want to explain that basically our language is a C language, which is not a platform independent. So while coming on days it developed, and now at latest technology we are using is that Java, which is a platform independency. So I think it's very important for any web related programs to be in platform independent, but this Silver technology lacks in the platform independency. Mainly it is developed by Microsoft, so it only supports the Windows and Linux too. That means we can operate this Silverlight technology only in the computers where we are using operating systems of Windows and Linux. And coming on to the next drawback, that is a code embedded Flash objectives does not pass W3C. As we know that for any types of search we will use World Wide Web, that W3C, but unfortunately here the Flash lacks in providing code embedded in the Flash in W3C. While searching in any web browser accepted by a bad searching in a web browser, if it has a bad code, then it results in the errors. So for any business or for any particular website, it's very important to overcome the errors. But there is a lot of errors by using this Flash objectives. And coming on to the next, that is the web updating continuously require the Flash skills. In present world society, it's very important for any company or any business to update their latest information regarding their resources or regarding their marketing strategy and all those things. So it is very important for the business to update their present trends by using their websites, but but here the Flash objectives lacks in updating their latest versions. And coming on to the Flash breaks search engine site previews. In any developing any websites, a website must create a previews, like if a user has a previews about that site, then they will shows the interest in using that site, or they want to go for the another site. But here the Flash does not able to provide previous previews, which is another drawback of this. And lastly, I want to explain this. Some users disable the Flash to avoid the Flash based advertising. Sometimes the web users blocks some particular page. That is mainly because to eliminate the animation advertising, and it's looked like this. If any particular user blocks the site, it will not visible for any particular person to see this. So I think is another drawback. And next, coming on to the reasons of using Silverlight technology.
The reasons for using Silverlight technology are the Silverlight is basically fast, like the video buffering and the image processing will be fast in the Silverlight, and it's 100% compatible with the WPF, and the Silverlight and the HTML integrate together, and we can have a full runtime interactivity with the Silverlight content. Coming to the disadvantages, There is no support for auto content scrolling of a container, and moreover, if the files are larger, it takes time to load. And there are two versions in the Silverlight, Silverlight 1 and Silverlight 2, and the Silverlight 1 doesn't include any input controls of its own. And in the Silverlight 2 version, the relative positioning is not currently supported, and the support of WPF is currently very limited, and it does not support the integration of webcam streams also, and the exceptional handling is not very good so far. And coming to the conclusion, this is a developed technology which is used in designing rich web applications and good attractive websites when compared to the Flash player, etc. And this has its own features which made it to stand up of all the other good technologies. Thank you.